Hey everybody, I am here with Joan Butts from Joan Butts Bridge. Hi Joan.
Hi, Bajir. How are you?
Really good. Good to see you again. Happy New Year
Yeah.
to everyone who's watching. Joan, you mentioned that there's an interesting hand from one of your lessons from your online school of Bridge. Would you tell us a little bit about this hand and what we will be learning today?
I'd like to talk about this hand because it illustrates the most important part of our working with partner, and that is defense.
Mm,
And when we're defending and making opening leads, especially against no trump contracts, really the defenders are following the same idea as declarer for trying to get tricks. So one of the ways that
mm,
declarer tries to get tricks is through long suits, developing their
mm,
long suits. Well, the
mm,
defenders are trying to do the same thing.
mm, And it's helpful to hear you put it so simply that, right, we're playing in no trumps. Strategies that we learn as declare might transfer well to defending as well.
Well, they're doing the defenders are actually trying to take defensive tricks in exactly the same way as declarer is taking their tricks.
Mm,
Um, and one of the most important is length. And that's why it's rather hard for someone when they haven't played a lot of bridge to be told by a teacher that if they had the king and four other cards in a suit, that they're supposed to lead a little card of the suit, because the main thing people want to do is take tricks. But when you're trying to develop your tricks through length, sometimes you've got to let declarer win a trick so that you and your partner can work together to take the later tricks, especially in no trumps, because there's nobody to trump you.
mm. Now, when we're as a defender, if our longest suit doesn't have an honor or isn't our best suit, is it still in our interest to develop our long suit?
It depends then whether you've got entries. I mean, let's say you had
Mm,
a suit that was 10 high. Well, you'll never get that suit developed unless you've got aces and kings to allow you to come in and win and then keep working on your suit. So
mm,
mostly when we're making leads against no trumps, we do lead our long suit. If we've got touching honours, we lead the top card because
ah,
that's promotion. But if we don't have touching honours, let's say we had 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. The card that we're supposed to lead technically is the 4, and that's called fourth highest of our longest and strongest.
So touching honors
You
in
lead
a
the top,
lead the
yeah,
top. If
and
you
if you
don't have touching honors, the fourth highest.
lead a low card, because the idea is that if you lead a low card, partner in third seat will have to play their highest card. So you're sort of working together. If you've got the honours, you don't need partner. But if you've got one honour and you lead a long suit, you need partner to put their big card up, forcing declarer to win. And then your long suit and your honour might make a trick later. So it's a real game of cooperation with partner.
You're doing your best to lead to each other's honor in your longest suit.
Yeah, and the big thing is you need to try to maintain communication. And
Mm,
that is the hard bit, because if you let declarer win a trick
mm,
early,
mm,
then you've got to be able to get in later with an entry, a winner in another suit,
mm,
or partner has to win and have another card left in your suit to be able to return it to you when
mm,
you can later take the long suit tricks.
mm. Well, can we take a look at a hand and see this
Yeah.
in action?
Yeah, let's have a look at this hand. Um, can you see this hand?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay. Well, I'll put the hints are off. You can click hints on if you want to, but you've got the king, the 10, the 7, 5, 4. You don't have much else, do you? You've got only two kings. Not much of a hand.
Not much.
But the opponent on your right has opened one no trump. So we pass. And now we're defending three no trumps. Well, we might as well lead our long suit, because we probably won't make the first trick or the second trick possibly, but what we
Mm,
want to make is the long suit tricks when declarer doesn't have any more. So the
mm,
card you sort of, a lot of people are taught to lead is fourth highest, but it wouldn't matter if you led the 4 or the 5, but following the fourth highest of your longest and strongest, we would make the lead of the 5.
And just remembering sort of the checkpoints that you gave, we didn't have touching honors, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't lead the king unless we also had the queen.
No. The reason that we wouldn't lead the king, because we don't have the queen, is because if we led the king, we might get stuck. Partner mightn't be able to play a little card back to our long suit. So if you notice what happened, we led a little one, dummy
Right.
played low, and lo and behold, hooray, hooray,
Woohoo!
partner had the ace. Now is the hard bit. They're returning the 8
Mm,
and declarer's playing the jack.
mm.
There's a very, what does it look as if declarer's got in their hand? We had 5 of them. There were 2 in dummy. So imagine the spades broke 3 in our partner's hand and 3 in declarer's hand.
Oh gosh. Right. So the big question is, does does East have the queen of spades, or does partner?
Exactly. That's the big question. You can be pretty sure that East has queen, jack, and another spade, because if partner had it, they
Yes.
would have won the ace and then they'd have played the queen, right? Because they would have liked to win the ace and the queen and then have a little card where it could come across to our king and our long suit winners.
Because
So
partner would know we had an honor card
yeah,
that partner could
because
cross
we
back.
led low. Yeah.
Brilliant. And because of that, because we know what partner knows, and because partner did not play the queen,
Yeah.
it's a good guess that, okay, so East has or had both the queen and the jack, playing
Yeah.
the jack, but it's reasonable to assume that East also has the queen, which will change what we want to do here, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Bajir. This is where it gets tough. If
Mm.
we were to win the king and play another spade, that declarer will very likely win the queen. And what will happen later, we'll see this happening, is that partner will not have a spade left to get back to our spade winners. But if we what's called duck this trick,
Yes.
in other words, refuse to take it with the king, I'll
Right.
show you what will happen.
Uh,
Right, partner's won, and guess what? Partner had a spade left to come over to our long suit. So sure enough, declarer had queen, jack, and another one. And now we are in a very good position. We win the king.
and we know that now they're both out of spades because it's the remaining spades split 3-3.
Yeah, that's right.
So the
Yeah.
rest are ours.
The rest of the spades are
The rest of
ours.
the spades. Mm.
Yeah. So there's our 4th trick, and now we triumphantly take the 5th trick.
Triumphantly indeed. It's
Right.
not a strong hand, but gosh, that feels good with so many winners against their contract.
Well, we just beat 3 no trumps, so
Just
pretty
brought them
good.
down. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, a
We
quick question for you:
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
we the King of Hearts, is that a card that we can count on as being an entry for partner to send us back? So if we had won that trick with the King of Spades, could we
Yeah.
think of the King of Hearts as an entry for partner to get back to us with?
Well, that's a really interesting question, Vijaya. Sometimes it is, and sometimes declarer will never need to let us win the King of Hearts.
Mm,
That's why the whole thing, bridge, is so difficult, really.
mm,
In this case, we've got to remember that East is going to have 15, 16, or 17 points. okay? And if they only had the Queen of Spades, they've got a lot of other points. They may never need to let us in with the King of Hearts. So do you want to keep playing it and see?
Yes, yes.
Whatever we switch to now, who knows? It won't help us much, I don't think.
The only thing is, we know we definitely don't want to play a heart because we want the hearts led to us. That's all.
Oh, we sure do, yeah. They're taking that heart, but I don't think they're not going to need that, another heart
It's
trick.
just going to sit there on the table.
Yeah, so have a look. They're going to be taking their winning diamonds. Now they're top 2 clubs.
So we wouldn't have been able to rely on it as another entry.
No, but that's a very good point that you bring up, though. That's a really good point. The King of Hearts might have been an entry, but if you have a look at Declarer, they had to have 16, 15, 15 or 16 points, 15 to 17 to open one no trump. But so when they only showed up with the Queen of Spades, we knew they almost had to have the Ace and Queen of Clubs. So that means there's 5 tricks for them. And they're sure to have the Ace of Hearts. So that's 6 tricks. And then they had to have some honours in diamonds too. So they didn't need to let us in with an external entry, but we did a really good thing when partner won the ace and then returned a spade by refusing to take the second trick. It's amazing, really, that we could have played, if partner won the ace and played a spade and they played the queen or the jack, we could have won the king.
It would have been so easy. It was sitting right there, and I think if I was playing it and I wasn't thinking carefully, I would just grab that trick. But you have to stop yourself.
A lot of people would take the king, and sometimes it would be right to take the king. If we had let's think about it this way: if we had the ace of diamonds instead of partner down here, then it would be absolutely right to take the king and then do what they call clear the suit, to play another one and force Declarer to win, because we know we're going to be winning with the ace of diamonds.
Right.
On this hand, you had to rely on partner having an entry and still having a spade left to return to us. Because, see, if we play the 5 and partner wins the ace and then it goes a spade and we win the king and then we clear the suit and let them win their queen, well, guess what? That takes partner's spade away. So they can't get back to our long spades.
Oh, what an interesting hand.
Isn't it amazing?
It's fantastic. Thank you, Joan.
Okay.
For us learners, if we want to keep learning about when we're defending no trumps, specifically how we can use leads to communicate with partner so that we can describe our hands to each other, and as in this one, so we can develop our long suits. What, first of all, where should we look? Is there do you have a lesson that you'd recommend we check out on your site? And also, is there any most important point that we should keep in mind when we have the chance to lead against no trumps?
Yeah, I have a number of lessons on my site. I've got basic leads against no trumps, and then I have the next step, which offers leads against no trumps where a little bit more thinking and clues. You've got to take some clues from the bidding. Yeah, so there are a number of hands like that on my online school of bridge. But what I actually like to people to think about is the fact that you are at a huge advantage when you're making the lead. The defenders have got a huge advantage at the bridge table because they get to make the opening lead, but the disadvantage is that they can't see the dummy until they've made the lead. So therefore, as you're working with your partner, it's not a good idea to make some sort of lead that you think is going to be brilliant on this hand. It's much better to follow the suggestions about opening leads and nearly always be reliable and lead either top of a sequence or fourth highest. And think about the bidding. You know,
Mm,
don't
mm,
ever lead a suit that the opponents have bid. Lead
mm,
another suit.
mm,
If partners bid a suit in the auction, lead their suit. You
mm,
know, following the guidelines is probably the best thing you can do.
mm, mm. That's helpful. Well, thank you, Joan. And for anyone who watches this, we'll be sure to link to Joan's online school of bridge so that you can find more lessons about this topic.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Bajir. See you next time.
Until
Bye.
next time, bye.